Hi, I'm Lisa from Australian travel blog dreamingofdownunder.com. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm currently in hotel quarantine in Australia and thought it might be useful to show what it's been like because I've had so many questions on Instagram. I've also written a big blog post about quarantine and flying during COVID, which I'll link below. Here's everything you need to know about Australian hotel quarantine. You'll need to check this on the Australian government website, but at the moment all international arrivals into Australia have to spend 14 days in quarantine in designated hotels, unless they're just transiting inside the airport for less than 8 hours. I didn't have to pay luckily because I arrived in Sydney before July the 18th, but most states are now starting to charge for quarantine. As a guide, it costs between $2,500 and $3,000 for a 2-week stay for one adult. Check this on the government website in case it's changed, but right now only Australian citizens, residents and immediate family members can enter Australia. Yes, it is. You get 3 free meals a day in New South Wales that are left outside your door. You don't get to choose what you eat, but they do cater for dietary requirements. I have seen footage of people in studio apartments with kitchens, but I think most people are just in hotel rooms without cooking facilities like I am. All I've got here is a kettle. The food's actually been a lot better than I expected. It's not as much as I'd normally eat, particularly the breakfast, but considering I didn't pay anything for it, it's not too bad. You're also allowed to have takeaways and online supermarket orders delivered, and you're allowed to receive parcels from friends or family, so you can get more food if you need to. In this hotel, we're not allowed outside of our rooms at all, but I have seen pictures of people going outside at other hotels for 15 minutes a day, just if they've got a courtyard. You also don't have a key card for your room, so if you did go out on your own, you wouldn't be able to get back in. I don't have a balcony here, and the window doesn't open either, so no, there is literally no fresh air at all. When you arrive at the airport, you get a temperature check and then you see a nurse who asks if you've had any symptoms. Then once you've gone through immigration and collected your luggage, the police are waiting outside and they check your name off on a list and put you onto coaches. You don't have to book quarantines, they already know who's arriving on each flight. So when we arrived, a manager came on and greeted us and gave us a form to fill in. Then we had to get off 2 by 2 so that we weren't all waiting together outside. You have to check in like you normally would, and then you have to go and see the police, and they'll ask to see your passport and boarding passes so that they know which flight you're on and which seat numbers. They'll also ask where you're going to be staying once you leave the hotel and how you'll be getting there. And then a fully uniformed soldier in plastic gloves and a mask will take you up to your room. We had 2 tests for COVID while we were in quarantine. We had one on day 3 and day 10, and you also get a nurse ringing you up every day to check you haven't had any symptoms. And we also had a call from a mental health specialist and the Red Cross just to check that you're doing okay. No one's allowed to enter your room, so you can't have it cleaned, but you are given clean sheets and towels after a week, and then you're given a soluble bag to put your dirty linen in, which you leave outside your room. That means that the cleaners don't have to touch your sheets. For your rubbish, you're just given bin liners, which you put outside your room once they're full, and there's also a laundry service at $35 a bag. You actually only stay for 13 nights and then you have to self-isolate at home for the final day until you've been in Australia for exactly 14 days since your flight landed. The evening before you leave, an army officer knocks on your door and asks what time you'll be checking out because you need to be escorted. And you're allowed to leave between midnight on your 13th night and 10 AM the next morning. There's also 2 nurses there who check you still haven't had any symptoms and give you a wristband with your release day on and a mask and hand sanitizer. You're also given a certificate to say that you've completed your quarantine period and you're given your COVID test results.
Supporting the New South Wales Police at border control points. These personnel are currently located in 20...
If you'll need to go into hotel quarantine yourself, here are my tips for a more comfortable stay.
You'll need to wash your own cups up in the hotel room, so you might want to bring a small travel bottle with a bit of washing up liquid in and a cloth, because I had to use a face flannel and soap. Also, if you want to clean your bathroom in a 2-week period, I would bring either some wipes or a cloth. You could also move the furniture around to make more room. I moved a chair next to the window, I put the desk by the window, and then that gave me space to do a bit of exercise. If you've got friends or family nearby who can drop stuff off for you, I'd make a list of things that you want them to bring, like snacks or nice coffee or your best pyjamas. You also get a TV, but you probably won't have Netflix or anything, so if you want to hook your laptop up to the TV, I'd get an HDMI cable.
Thanks for watching my first video. Please give it a like and subscribe, as I'm planning on making more videos about life in Australia.